remember. My heart is cold like December. Open my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm all in now. Lost my mind to these guppies and purple now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. December, over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm all in now. Lost my mind to these guppies and purple now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. December, over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm all in now. Lost my mind to these guppies and purple now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God, I don't know if I can remember. God, I don't know if I can remember. where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm all in now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm all in now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We're back with another Sold Out Live, another Sold Out podcast on this Saturday, man. Y'all smash that like button, sub up to the channel if you're new, and if you haven't done so already, of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and what I normally do is make content about sneakers, occasional trial hauls, and y'all know we have Music Monday, but this is Sold Out, where we talk that sneaker talk. So pretty much sign up for that Sold Out Discord. The link is pinned at the top of the comment section. It is free to sign up. Well, of course, again, like I said, we continue the sneaker talk. We got a food section, a sports section, a lit section, you name it. It's basically a place where if I can't get the content out in time or if something drops randomly, most likely it'll be popping off in the Discord, right? Okay, shameless plug. But let's just get the party started, man. I'm only going to be on this joint for like an hour, and ironically, the kid is kind of just, I don't know, I've been like, I guess in a little funk today, man, but we going to get to keep the party going, man. We're going to talking more tariffs, and I know we're probably sick of tariffs, but at this point, man, I mean, that's the talk of the town right now as far as how the current sneaker market is going. We're going to be talking upcoming sneaker releases toward the end of the live as well. Basically going to be just seeing what's going to be out there. We got like pretty much the White House clarifies that the duties on China tariffs after the pause. Because I think, remember, we were set to be like, it's supposed to be in effect, but it looks like the new administration in office, and yes, I'm talking Mr. Trump, they have paused them. So we're going to be talking about that as well, like kind of what that means. And to be honest, I think if I had to guess, the main goal is they would like to see more products made in America, so to speak, right? Okay, but how long will that take to happen to get factories healed? And that either way, I feel like it's a lose-lose situation for the consumer, right? If we pace the tariffs and if we put them back active after the 90 days, that can make products go up. But if we get everything made in America, the product still could possibly go up. My question is this: Will our paychecks go up though, right? Okay. And then also we're gonna be talking Bodega Secret Sneaker Boutique. And then we'll get the party started right there. So man, pretty should be a short, simple, live and to the point. And then so we'll keep the party going from there, man. So let's see what we got in the building real quick. We have Kwame says, yo, what up, Kwame? What up? Smash that like button as y'all come in and out. And looks like we got Manny with the kicks that says, yerp, what up, Manny's? What up, what up, what up, what up? And then we got Thomas Gold Ring Jr. says, Polo, what's up? With the thumbs up. That's basically what that means, right? Okay. Yeah, man, we should be getting the party started right here. No major issues at all right quick. Y'all let me know if audio and video is okay, and then we'll get the party going. I'm gonna share my screen here in like 2 seconds. Yeah. Let me check real quick, make sure everything is good. Let's see audio, and then I'll be sharing my screen real quick. Give me like 2 seconds, everybody. Let's see. We should be getting this thing popping in here. It says, boom, right there. Okay, cool. So let me share my screen real quick. I'll get the party started. I think we're gonna go right to the White House situation, and then I'll transition on Can It Be Made in America, and we'll talk to Bodega Secret Spot to close it out for the night, man. And then probably a few other things here in between. So let me share my screen. Give me like 2 seconds, and we're gonna go. Boom, right here should be sharing my screen. Again, as y'all coming in and out, y'all definitely smash that like button right here. So White House clarifies that duties on China have hit 145%. President Trump's tariffs on China's have risen to 145% just one day after he paused the tariffs on nearly all other nations. So I think I don't think he paused theirs, right? Is what I'm getting from that one, right? Okay. Again, usually I have the news on a regular, but to be honest, this week has been one steady week for me. So I have actually been kind of felt behind, man. Hence why probably in the Discord, if y'all saw where I posted all like my own feats on Friday, is because I was taking the pictures. I just had a long week, bruh. But we getting there. We gonna get caught up though. Let's keep the party going. It says, all fair and love and trade wars, right? Okay, looks like this article got jokes, and this is written by, looks like Megan Hall, and this is from April 10th, to the best of my knowledge. So yeah, just a couple days ago, which I think I'd meant to get on these, or cover this, but I guess I just missed it at the time. Let's see where we are real quick. It says, Trump has made his message more than clear. Do not retaliate against the United States trade policy, but and I think that's Beijing, which I think that's a place in China, hasn't retreated. Says vowing to fight to the end in the red-hot trade war between the nations. The president clarifies Thursday that effective immediately, goods inbound from China would be subject to a 145% tariff. It says our omitting Wednesday measures imposes a 125% duty rate on China. Now, I have heard out of the president's mouth that this is kind of supposed to be his kind of like way of trying to get things are quote unquote fair, right? Okay. And looks like from what I get from it, he says it's supposed to only be temporary, but this is a huge temporary. And we're like, I don't know about you guys, right? But if you're just bored, if you want to look at some of your products, right, and your household and what you have around you, I guarantee you, a lot of it's going to say made in China. And I'm not trying to crack jokes or anything like that, but because it's probably easier to get it produced over there. But if now we can't get the stuff shipped here because let's just say it's not China won't ship them, but it's going to be the case of where pretty much the companies that get the stuff made over there got to get it shipped over here. And that's where all that could probably play a factor in there. You know what I mean? And that's really kind of, who is that really hurting if you ask me? Is it really hurting China or is it hurting the U.S. in general? Right? Just a question for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things you want to keep in mind. Kwame says, at that rate, Jordan's going to cost $400. I sure hope not. But, I mean, if you think about it, if it's 125% on the tariff and we already, what the average Jordan will say is what? We'll say on the low end, maybe 185, 190. But, yeah, you're going to have to times that by like 100%, dog. So, yeah. You actually could be doing that. And who really wants to, $400 will be what we're used to being on the resale side of things for the resale price. You know what I'm saying? Do we really want to pay $400 for retail? And think about this. If it's going to be like that for Jordans in general, if Nike chooses to increase their, like, if they're getting taxed. So who do you think is gonna get taxed? The consumer. So if Nike raised the prices on their sneakers, will the resale market be forced to raise theirs to be considered today's price? You know what I'm saying? Because $400, in my opinion, that could easily be like well, not now, but back in the day, that could easily be a good grill. You know, not like top of the line grill, but one of those like, I really wanted this shoe. It was really hard to get, but you can get it if you got 400. So, I mean, to be honest, now think about that if that's going to be the average norm for a shoe, man. And a lot of people that's been coming at me sideways for like skipping everything, yeah, they've been skipping too. Let's see, Man of the Kick says, hell no, 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 no. Let's see, Kwame says, what up, Manny? Manny, you wildin', bro. It says, the White House explained that the 125% tariff came as an addition to the 20% tariff Trump previously decreed on Chinese goods due to the country's ported role allowing the flow of fentanyl into the United States. So I don't know if that's true, but I know fentanyl is that kind of been the stuff that's been laced with drugs, where if it's been laced with that, people tend to not usually survive it. And I'm not trying to trigger anybody or bring up anything, but I don't know if that's the case. And I wonder if Mr. Trump or President Trump has proof of that being the case as well, is what I would like to propose, right? Let's see, Thomas says, half of my sneakers are Air Force One. That means those prices are going to change, which, keep in mind, the Air Force One has already risen, right? Just normally. Again, I'll go down the rabbit hole real quick for the people who don't know, but I'm probably telling my age here. I remember Air Force Ones, Thomas. I remember Air Force Ones growing up in school. In fact, I was one of the first people in like middle school. I ain't gonna say the whole entire school, but I was one of the first ones in my grade to actually rock the Air Force One, which is low key why it's one of my favorite silhouettes. But it was $65. I had some white and gray joints. They were $65. Then they went up to like, I remember I see them go up to 75, and then out of nowhere, they jumped up to, I think they even probably hit 85, and then we hit 95, and now we're at 110, right? If I'm not mistaken, 110, 115. So they've risen over the years. But I will say the $95 was that sweet spot, because it used to be $95 for at least several years, you know? Now, in my opinion, the Air Force One is that shoe where if you need something fresh real quick for the night, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, that really is important. I don't really want to see. And then also, Jordan Brand and Nike, them, if they are going to raise prices, maybe they only do it on select sneakers to try to get it back. But you know what that means. They're going to do it on their most probably popular models they know that's going to sell. They may not raise the price of the Air Force One. And this is all alleged and opinionated based. I don't know what they're going to do, but say they let the Air Force One stay the same, but then they raise the prices on the Jordan. You know what I mean? Think about it. They raise the price on the Jordan 11, which, keep in mind, the Jordan 11, now that we're getting at the end of the year, I think it's $230 average price right now, right? Keep in mind, rumors is we have the Gammas. If these stay in place, how much do you think Gammas are going to cost us this year? Keep in mind, there were $230 for a pair of Jordan 11s last year, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay. How much would it cost now if they was to impose that? Like that could easily be the shoe that probably turn into $400 if you really think about it, Kwame. I hope not, but I'm just saying. Devon says, what up? What up, Devon? What up? What up? What up? What up? Y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out, man. Let me get back to the article real quick. It says, where we at? Some products, though, could face duties higher than 145%. It says that's because materials like steel and aluminum, alongside several other product categories, will face up to an additional 25% levy on top of the 145% duty. So some prices could be even more depending on what you got to get over there. Again, man, I think we take a lot of the things that we get made in China. A lot of people don't realize how much that actually does like affect us and that we get from over there, which is very unique, right? It's obviously deeper than sneakers, but I mean, we're going to keep it related to that for the channel. Long Beach Joe Jess in the building says, salutes and respect to Polo in the chat. What up, Long Beach? What up? What up? Y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out, man. It says Trump's ad and flat duty rates on low value packages sent via international post almost skyrocketed. It says, according to the New York Times, shipments already in transit, whether via sea or air, are exempt from the new tariff. So, though the changes take immediate effect, importers will likely only begin to see the fallout in the coming days and weeks. Meaning, since how I guess you can say he's got them imposed, and again, it's a 90-day pause, but I don't think it's a 90-day pause for China. So, if there's stuff that's already en route, if I'm reading this correctly, that stuff that's already a done deal. But anything after that, it's like, okay, now it's a different price to get it over here, whether it be by air or sea, which ironically, right? I was going to get some merch made and still may do that in the future, but it was going to be made overseas in China too, right? And yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't going to be that bad getting the shirts made and getting the stock number, but getting them over here was where it's going to cost a little bit more and it was going to be weird. You know what I'm saying? But I do like the materials and stuff they did, man. I do got some merch samples is what I got, you know? Where we at real quick? Manuel Kick says, Kwame and Devon plus Joe Jets, salute. Let's see. Devon says, what's good, Manny and Kwame and Joe Jets? What's good? Let's see. Kwame says, chilling, enjoying the night off work. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let me get back to the article real quick. It says let's see what it says. From the White House came just one day after Trump announced that he had decided to usher a 90-day pause on the so-called tariffs. He doled out during the last week's Liberation Day press conference. Let's see. Trump kept the 10% baseline tariffs for all impacted countries intact, but framed the pause of the additional tariffs as a reward for those who had chosen to not retaliate against his initial tariff. So pretty much the people who are trying to cut a deal and work with him, and it looks like everybody's willing to come to the table to find some type of negotiation, they got a 90-day pause. But what I'm getting from it, I don't think China actually is saying they're going to come to the table and play cards. You know what I mean? They don't want to play let's make a deal. To the best of my knowledge. Now, I'm going to keep reading because I'm pretty sure it's deeper than that in the article, right? Okay. Where we at real quick? Where we at? Let's see. Kwame says, I still got a tea and coffee mug from the first merch you did. That's what's up, homie. Appreciate that. I think I'm gonna bring it back eventually. I just gotta let the numbers and stuff get right, and I guess figure out this whole tariff situation now. Because obviously, if I make some more, it's gonna come from overseas. But this time, I'm gonna get it done right and get an official website. All that stuff, to be honest, man. While I could do it, it's just something that am I in the scope of ready to take on that responsibility too, and of course the finance cost that comes with it. Even though you're selling stuff, to maintain and sell stuff is not free. You know what I'm saying? So, especially with how I would do it. You know what I mean? So, that's something, but definitely going to be trying to keep up with that for sure. Long Beach says, yo, Polo, Soul Priority did a live on the subject last night, and they shared great light on this. A guy has a Nike insider that said that they are pushing up the prices $10 to $15 on everything. Oh, my goodness. That's not too bad, but just enough to annoy you. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that. If they got to do that in their products, I can see that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to push everything up $10 to $15. I can see that. Not bad, but still sucks. So that means, like, I would assume, let's say the 11 that was last year was $230. That could easily, turn into, $245 now? You know, plus don't forget, not all states have this, but my state has this, which is state taxes. That plays a factor into it. You know what I'm saying? Some places in my area even charges for bags. Not all, but some do. We got a 10%. We got to pay 10 cents per bag on some places like the grocery store. Just want to throw that out there. Devon says smartphones and computers are exempt from the Trump tariffs. That's good because if you think about it, like the phones already, like I don't know how much your iPhone costs or whatever phone you use or what have you, but my iPhone costs like in the thousands already. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if they put that on there. That mean the thing would be almost $3,000-$4,000. You know what I mean? That one was a smart move to stop that one for sure. Let's see where we at. Long Beach says salutes to Manny. Slayer says what's up, Sneaker Familiar 100. What up, Slayer? Let's see. Long Beach says also China is lifting its ban on counterfeiting American goods. Fakes will get way better. That's on the Soul Priority Live too. I'm gonna have to check it out. Wow. So that means like we even though we could easily get more. We've already been having an issue with the fakes already making it through now. So what do you think is going to happen if they do this? Like, I hope that this administration is really taking the time to think about this. You know what I'm saying? Where we at real quick? Where we at? Slayer says, it's bad when even McDonald's raising prices. Shaking my head. Yeah, McDonald's prices have. Even though I haven't really ate McDonald's in like, I want to say at least 5 or 6 years, dog. At best, maybe 3, if I'm gonna be honest, because every now and then I will get something, but I don't even try to go near it. You know what I'm saying? Not knocking McDonald's or whatever, because that used to be the go-to spot back in the day, but I just kind of got over them as you ate so much of it as a kid. Yeah, that's crazy. But I was saying all that to say, I remember when McDonald's had like that 99-cent menu. Remember, you can get, and then they changed it to the $1.99 menu or something like that. So, or no, they changed it to the dollar menu. You know what I mean? I think Wendy's had the 99-cent menu, and then that's when McDonald's had the dollar menu. They were always going back and forth with each other as far as competition. Where we at, Devon says, Trump tariffs affects wigs and weaves. Hey, chill, bro. Hey, chill. Nope. You're not baiting me in like you did yesterday during the group meeting, dog. Not at all. I know where you're going with that. Hey, but that is kind of funny, though. Let's see. Manuel Kick says, knew Uncle Trump was going to pump the brakes on those tariffs. I mean, he kind of had to. It's kind of one of those, some countries are going to call their bluff. Some of them are going to come to the table and negotiate. But, I mean, to be honest, the question that I always ask, and I think everybody else was asking about the tariffs is, even if he puts it in effect, how long were you really prepared to hold out for that? You know what I'm saying? Because we get a lot of stuff from other countries, not just China. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying it like how he said it on purpose, man. Let's see. Devon says he can't beat China as he believes. I think he knows that. So I hope he just takes a different route too. It's going to be interesting though, for sure. Says Trump kept the 10% baseline tariffs on all impacted countries intact, but framed the pause on additional tariffs as a reward. We read that one real quick. So I'm going to keep the party going on the rest of the article real quick. It says, that move saw the European Union pausing its measure to strike back against the U.S. with 25% tariffs, but Beijing's mind had already been made up on Wednesday morning prior to the 90-day delay being announced. China said it would instate a 84% tariff on all goods inbound from the United States, and Trump struck back. Says, on his Truth social account. Okay, so he has his own little, social account too, because I think he has his own thing. Because remember, he got banned off some of the medias. Trump on Wednesday has a great time to buy prior to the announcing of the 90-day pause. So I guess that means he's saying if you're going to get into the stock market, because when he announced these tariffs, a lot of that took a dive too. I know the stock market took a dive, and I'm not a stock market guy, but that's just what hearsay was going around, right? Where we at real quick, Manu the Kick says, facts, Divine, and China ain't playing around. They definitely not. I mean, this the thing, dog. Does this not come off as a form of like almost appear to be like trying to, work with us or else, kind of like in a bully type of style? Well, not everybody can be bullied. If we're going to keep it real, not everybody can be bullied. You eventually, if you are the tough guy in town, eventually somebody's going to stand up to you. Could it be China that's going to stand up? And I wouldn't be surprised, as we can see, they're not just bending over. You know what I mean? Pause. It says, and after news of the pause hit investors that told you, look at that. What did I tell y'all? I said this right before I even read it. The stock market, it ballooned, right? Okay. Hitting the highs after several days of the, over the tariffs. But on Thursday, investors showed signs of cold feet and seemed to decide that it wasn't such a great time to buy. After all, after Trump clarified the 145% duty on Chinese goods, the S&P and the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones Industry Average immediately careered downward, losing half of the gains on Wednesday's rally. So that lets you know, and I think I actually even have an article too of that where people did rally against that. You know what I mean? So again, not everybody's gonna just do what you say because who you are. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I can say about this administration too, man, we're literally watching it play out in front of our eyes, like live. You know what I'm saying? It's like none of this stuff is like one of those they come in and try to deliver it professional. I mean, like, remember they had the one meeting with the one guy about the war, and that was pretty much live on TV where they tried to punk him, you know, where they tried to like bully him. At least it came across that way, in my opinion. Where we at? Devon says China looking at U.S. like, you being for real, everything that's in the U.S. is made in China. I'm gonna say this: if I had to guess, if I'm guessing right, and I don't know, and y'all tell me y'all thoughts on this too. How much do you think that we get products made from China that comes from over here? If we got to put a percentage on it, right? Because you think about it, check majority of, like, just randomly, if you're in your house, if you're bored, like, just like me, if I could check this, like, my computer, if I check my lighting that I'm using, my camera and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about little stuff like that. If you think about even right down to your damn toiletries and paper towels and shit, you know what I'm saying? That's why everybody keeps going at the grocery store and stuff. And I'm not saying we're getting food and stuff like that from over there, but that's coming from other places. But yeah, think about that. If I had to guess, probably 75 to 80% of our goods that we use on a daily basis, or stuff that we take, probably didn't even realize made from over there, comes from China. If I had to guess, I don't know the real number, but clearly if China them has the nerve to feel like they can stand up, then obviously they know something too that they don't know. So it's gonna be big dog versus big dog, and see who's gonna really settle. You know, Devon says, Zulinski, you're talking about, okay, yep, that guy. Whenever he came over trying to do something, that meeting should have been not a camera in the room, or not, like, at least chop it down and edit it. It was weird. You know what I'm saying? That was the weirdest thing, kind of seeing that, and I'm like, wow. Homie came in, actually seems like he was pretty much, you know, yeah, he was asking for help, but he was humble. But at the same time, how they came at him, it's like they wanted him to, like, bow down, dog. It was kind of weird, you know? Again, I ain't trying to make this all about politics. I don't care who you voted for or who you supported. Either way, we got who we got in there, so we got to talk about the current administration, dog. Let's see, where we at real quick. Kwame says, most of my Nikes from China, except the Dunks, are Vietnam. But yeah, you got Vietnam, you got Indonesia, but either way, those people, that stuff is paused right now, but we still got a lot of ones that's made from China too. You know what I'm saying? So you right, Kwame. And let's see, Emmanuel the Kick says 98% is made in China. He says 98. I'm gonna say strong 75% of all our products is made over there, dog. It could, I wouldn't be surprised, but something tells me it's even more than that. You know what I'm saying? It says on Thursday, Trump defended the tariffs, noting that they will in time be a beautiful thing, and saying that the U.S. is in very good shape. Still, he admitted there likely to be a transition problems. I mean, yeah, because this is going to be different. So we're going to see what it is. And he's using these filler words where it's like, yeah, it's probably about to suck. He's basically saying it's about to suck in the beginning, but if y'all believe in the plan and trust me, in so many words, it's going to go and blossom into something that was worthwhile, and y'all will see what I was seeing. But I'm starting to think a lot of us don't see it now. I personally don't see it now, but I mean, to each their own for sure. It says, a big day yesterday, there will always be a transition difficulty, but in history, it's the way the biggest day in history, the markets. So we're very, very happy with the way that the country is running. We're trying to get the world to treat us fairly, Trump said this afternoon. So he said that he's trying to get them to pretty much treat us fairly, but at the same time, dog, it's kind of one of those, I get what he's trying to do, but I'm having a hard time seeing how this is going to play out, because it's not looking good already. So I do want to just cover this one too. This is from April 4th, because I meant to cover this last week too. It says, following Trump's tariff hypes, can massive shoe production actually be moved to U.S.? And that's the question I wanted to propose to you guys too. Like, I know of, right, if I can think of who get shoes made in America right off the top of my head, you can't help but think of New Balance. But they still get shoes made overseas as well. But they do have a, like, made in USA. And their stuff, like, let's just keep it 100. New Balance sneakers aren't necessarily cheap either, but it doesn't help that Jordan still technically kind of costs more than like New Balance. But really, if you think about it, if I'm not mistaken, my last New Balance was like 250. You know what I'm saying? Not all Jordans is 250. You know what I'm saying? Usually that's just like you're gonna hit that out. You're gonna hit that out of the park with like either a collab shoe in or like 11. So I mean, that show you what it could be. But for Nike then to try to get their stuff made over here like that, it would probably cost more than the shoe's gonna go up as well. You know what I'm saying? It'd probably be closer to 252, you know, if not more. Let me see real quick. It says the answer is it's not that simple. And like I said, I think I kind of just proved a point on that one for sure. It says President Trump escalation on Wednesday with the announcement of sweeping the tariffs has sparked a lot of the questions and concerns among footwear industry. Says one of these questions are the top of the mind of many is how realistic is it to bring a shoe manufacturing back to the States? The answer is it's not that simple. It says 99% of the shoes sold in U.S. Here we go right here, Manny. So maybe you might be onto something here. It says 99% of the shoes sold in the U.S. are imported from primarily China. Here we go right here. So this is like, again, this is basically piggybacking off of what Divine and basically what Manny literally just said. I'm going to read this one again and break it down. It says 99% of the shoes sold in the United States are imported primarily from China, Vietnam, and Indonesia, right? I said that myself too. So think about that. It says, according to the data on the American Apparel Foot Association, 61.9% of all shoe imports came from China, followed by 21% from Vietnam, and then Indonesia is 6.9%, and then Cambodia is 3.9%, and India is 1.3%. Round out the top 5 shoe importers of the U.S. So at the end of the day, if we break it down, China is 61.9% shoes are coming from there, right? And then the rest, it trickles on down from there. So that's going to be really, really interesting to see how that goes too, man. So if China's not going to fold, then that means some tells me the super duper Jordans that we really, really like, those are the ones that we have to maybe hold them back on for a little bit. It says the footwear ecosystem doesn't really exist here. Pepper Howard, chief executive officer of the Oka brand, formerly known as Oshkosh, or hopefully I'm saying that correctly, or Oshbashi, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, which produces its own footwear in the factory of the Burford GA, also manufactures shoes for brands like New Balance, Raka via sustainable close-up loop system, told Foot News in an interview last year, it's hard to build out our supply chains because some tell me it's probably due with how the cost goes, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to keep the party going and keep reading here. It says, we've had conversation with a lot of brands, Howard said. Everybody's interested in U.S. manufacturing, but very few people are fully committed to it or have solid justifications for making investments there. Says the cost of labor is also another hurdle for Made in America footwear. Chris Rogers, head of supply chain research at S&P Global Market Intelligence, said that the labor-intensive nature of manufacturing of footwear in general, as well as the complexity of sports shoes, lends itself to production of low labor cost regions. So pretty much that's the problem. And to be honest, we can say that and I don't know about the other countries, and I don't want to really play like tit for tat here, but I know about here, right? We get people working in those factories trying to build shoes. No disrespect, they're going to definitely cost more because they're going to have to pay those people more, right? Because cost of living and stuff like that. I don't know what it's like it is in the other states, but you want somebody in the factory all day long. And think about this. Would they make as many pairs or would they produce as many pairs? Because, no disrespect, the people overseas, they doing what they got to do. Here it can produce a lot of problems because not everybody like in the U.S. is built like we get tired. We're more, I feel like, vocal and stress ourselves like, hey, yeah, I'm tired of this, blah blah. I can see that where something go wrong in the factory, hell, they'll not just boycott, but hell, they'll be out there protesting. You know what I mean? You know how we get down over here, man. It says the sensitivity of brands to the quality of the labor regulations means that the Vietnam has been a popular production center, avoiding some of the challenges that the generic apparel sector has faced in the places like Bangladesh and Myanmar, Rogers noted. And Vietnam is one of the countries hit hardest by Trump's newest tariffs. Keep in mind, I think that's paused though, because keep in mind, I'm kind of doing this in reverse. Says for Vietnam, the new total Trump is taxing the country 46%, also representing a discount to the 90% levied on the U.S. imports, according to the President Trump. Keep in mind, it's paused now though. It says, but there could be relief coming in the Vietnam situation. So pretty much, I think, yeah, that's what it probably is. I don't know if what he's trying to do, if he's bluffing or what, right? But I mean, this stuff is kind of really all over the place if you really think about it. But where we at real quick, Long Beach Show just says, these tariffs are so insane, dog. It's really like reading this is kind of like, is this real? You know what I mean? How I be looking at him like, dog, this is crazy because this, like, you're not going to make any friends doing this. You know what I mean? And maybe he doesn't care. It says, following Trump's tariffs announcement this week, Vietnam Trade Ministry asked that the president postpone the 46%, which he did, I believe, increase in duties by up to 3 months, which he did. He did in this app. I guess he listened. So this is where that all came from. Keep in mind, we got a 90-day pause. So that is 3 months, and engage with further negotiations to address the country's trade imbalance with the U.S. So looks like they're going to ask for 90 days to negotiate, and looks like he's put that on there except for China, to the best of my knowledge. Now it says taken to Truth Social media or social on Friday, Trump indicated that he's open to considering a bilateral trade deal with the Asian nation. Just had a very productive call with Tim Lam, General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, who told me that the Vietnam wants to cut their tariffs down to zero if they are able to make an agreement with the U.S., says he wrote. I thanked him on his behalf of our country, and I said I look forward to meeting in the near future. So looks like they're going to make some deals, man. And I kind of figured, I'm not surprised to see that deals will be made. And I think that's what's his whole goal to begin with. It just doesn't sound pretty, if we're going to keep it real. But I'm not trying to sound like I'm defending him in any way, shape, or form either. Says, so how realistic is this move? What did I just say? Like, man, sometimes like reading these articles, I don't read them like ahead of time, but I can just tell where this stuff kind of can lead to. It says, so how realistic is this move? Supply chains closer to home. Rogers added that it will take some time. It says footwear supply chains can typically be moved within a couple of years, depending on the degree of vertical integration required, though that it's dependent on having a readily available skilled workforce as well as the support of business regulations and logistics networks, Rogers said. In reality, though, firms plan on a 5-year cycle for making significant graphic change. So, to be honest, getting everything up and running and probably getting it where it runs like a well-oiled machine, no pun intended. Looks like it's a 5-year cycle, as we're going to go off this, because this is a person who has the factories here that's making Made in America sneakers, right? Where we at real quick, Long Beach says, I highly doubt the beneficial deal will be made. Trump will fold or get folded. Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, let's just throw this out there, Long Beach. He doesn't seem like the type to try to fold anymore. And I think he gets to that point where he refuses to admit, like, hey, man, I made a mistake. Even though they've done that this year already with some of the layoffs and having to bring people back, right? And apparently, even his, buddy Elon Musk, and again, this isn't about politics, looks like his job role, he could actually get it extended for another 90 days if he wants to, right? From what ironically, I was in a barbershop today, and we were talking that talk. It says in the fact of uptick in companies inquiring about what it would take to implement U.S. shoe production. In a recent catch-up with the Oakland brand Howard's earlier this year, more interest is made in the U.S. footwear increasing due to Trump's new tariff plans. Howard noted that before 2024, the pandemic and the occupying supply chain meltdown had already spurred strong interest in local manufacturing. Says on top of that, more brands have been keen to cut down on carbon emissions from air fuel and have more control over their supply chain. Given the long development cycle for footwear manufacturing, the brands that have recently launched the U.S.-based manufacturing projects and partnerships are likely a result of post-pandemic push. Let me keep it going real quick. It says the brand just are relieved and feels like it's a great timing with tariffs and other challenges that are having to deal with. Howard told Foot News in January, I think we're just starting to see a new wave because of that. It says in the meantime, however, Rick, independent consultant and former chairman, president, and CEO of the AAFA, told Foot News in an email that retailers and brands should not be so quick to react. Which, to keep it 100, I haven't seen anybody react really just yet. Like, we just been hearing what possibly coulda, shoulda, woulda, might happen type of thing. We haven't actually heard anybody make any like price increases just yet. Think about it, because we just as consumers from the outside looking in anticipating, right? We're anticipating. Again, we're anticipating, I guess you can say, for worst case scenario, but we're gonna see what they're actually gonna do. So again, but like this article said, it's probably best not to just so quick to react to it real quick, because that's going to show how your brand's built too. You know, you could easily expose yourself. It says retailers and brands should look closely at their sourcing portfolios to be sure they are diversified. It says at the same time, they could remain reasonably calm because Trump 2.0 bears little resemblance to the last version. This group is business savvy and they are highly unlikely to tank the economy over a bare trade deficits. That are not necessarily core to our overall economic issues. So basically what this article saying, like, yo, hey, he's a businessman at the end of the day. He knows what he's doing. But we shall see. It says they added more than likely 10% tariffs may stick as the main goal, and the other higher numbers will dissipate over time and negotiation. The first day after a mud storm is always the hardest. So it seems like this person is on board with what Trump is trying to do, right? Again, I don't know, but this is what it came across like to me. Let's transition to this Bodega situation real quick for like the last 10 minutes, and then we'll wrap things up here for the night. Appreciate y'all for being active in the chat too, man. Really means a lot to the kid. Y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out. And then once we get through this article, then I'm going to talk upcoming sneaker releases and then wrap things up here for the night, man. Time goes by when you're having fun, dog. It says Bodega's secret sneaker boutique is back open and after its financial woes. It says after shredding nearly all of its staff, Bodega reopened Los Angeles shop on Thursday. Remember, we did cover this article too. Now it's back open because remember, it was that one guy where he had to let a lot of his staff and stuff go, and he said that he was going to bring it back. So maybe they're revamping the joint, if I'm not mistaken, right? But let me read through this real quick. It says, for a moment there, it looked like Bodega might be done. The iconic sneaker store had closed its original Boston location in January. The business was bogged down. Placing an online order came with risk that the purchase might not be processed and shipped for weeks. That made me think of, and I hate to bring this up too, but RIP to Nipsey Hussle. Right when he had passed away, I want to say it was like March 31st, if I'm not mistaken. I had ordered some merch, probably not the best timing, from his marathon store, like the first week of April, which obviously that's the next day coming after March. And I waited 6 months for that stuff to get to me, and it never got to me. Honestly, after 6 months, I tapped out, and I went back and contacted my card company and told them I needed a refund. I had to, since it's been over, like, I think you got like 90 days to say something, you know what I'm saying? But it was well over. They're like, why did you wait so long? And I'm like, well, and I explained the whole situation. They're like, yeah, mail this in. You're going to have to mail this request in. And I did, and it took longer, but they got it, and I did get it right back. And then they did refund me my money. But they wasn't going to do it if I didn't, you know, like, because the thing is, marathon people, I think they just had so many orders, it took them forever to get caught up. To keep it 100, marathon them. So, like, to be honest, once I got that what's it called? Once I had the chargeback done, then I got a contact from them like immediately, like, oh yeah, thanks, yeah, sorry, we're refunding you anyway, blah blah. Like, of course you are, because my card company said that you had to do it, you know? No, and this ain't no like downplaying or trying to diss like Nipsey Hussle. I think it just was bad timing on my part. You know what I mean? I'll blame myself on that. Manny says, I gotta stop by Bodega the next time I'm in Boston. That's what's up. Let's see real quick. Where we at? In mid-March, Bodega co-founder Dan Natalia sent a note around the industry that he were stepping down from his role as director of the brand strategy. Days later, other Bodega employees updated their social media profiles and posted messages about losing their job. On March 21st, Bodega shut down the LA location and online store, halting all business. Jay Gordon, another of the co-founders and majority shareholder, maintained the Bodega would be back. He said, to find a way to keep the LA and online stores running. It says the Bodega website is still inaccessible and showing an intermission message at the time of writing, but the LA store reopened on Thursday. He says, we're scaling back enormously, Gordon told Complex via email. In March, we are shedding almost all corporate operations, but keeping the LA store open after a brief shutdown and running all operations out of there the same money and hopefully start to get back on track. Let's see. Natalia declined to comment on for this story, directing all our inquiries to Gordon. So pretty much they're like, hey, don't ask me nothing, go to him. He got all the answers, because they don't really want to get involved on it, is what I'm getting from it, which, to be honest, is probably the safe move. I was taught growing up, if you don't got nothing nice to say, it's best to not say anything at all. Like, that's just, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say it, but there's some truth to that. Like, one time I had got in some trouble, and not like legal trouble, but just in my home, and like, my family sat me down, they talked to me like, yo, you right, but at the same time, it wasn't, you not the right person to deliver that. You know what I mean? So, and that's how it actually helped me today, where I just learned how to move and try to be more respectful with people. You know what I'm saying? It says Bodega opened in Boston in 2006, taking streetwear exclusivity to the agricultural extreme by hiding the shop behind a secret door in the storefront made to look like a regular corner store. Says the store made a name for itself first through collaborations with Boston-based sneaker brands like Converse, Reebok, and Saucony. Bodega opened an LA location in 2018 that was in keeping with the theme of the first store, hidden in an old produce market. It says by 2020, Bodega was the institutional boutique, a Ford barrier that had arrived before sneaker collecting, and the idea of shops catering specifically to collectors went fully mainstream. It says in an interview with Sneaker Freaker in March, Gordon said in 2021 was Bodega's best year on record. Gordon told Complex that its peak Bodega was doing 35 million in sales. Sheesh. So how do you if you're getting 35 million in sales, how do you mess it up? You know, and again, it probably is a lot. I'm assuming it's a lot to keep the business running too. I'm assuming like they were getting that in sales, but how much are they doing or costing to keep these stores open and keep the product in there to keep the number? Because think about it. If you really think about a business, dog, it's kind of like a cycle if you want to continue to have it as like a mainstay. Like once you sell out a product and you say like, okay, cool. You get a product made. You obviously got to charge the consumer already for what it costs you to get made, but then you got to put a price on it for like, hey, well, I need to make profit on this, right? But either way, you got to also put in there fact, like if you're going to have a storefront, you got to factor in what you can sell the stuff at is like somewhat affordable for us, but you need to make profit where you can not only survive and take care of your family, but you got to keep the lights on at the store because they have water, all that stuff, the safety stuff they got to keep up. Then you also got to think about the product. So you got to make sure all that's covered. You know what I'm saying? So that's often why you can easily see like a shirt could easily turn out to be $35, $45. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of overhead when it comes to these stores and stuff like that. If I had to guess, you know, not cheap is what I'm trying to get at. Former Bodega employee Galvin How however you say his name, my bad, who worked there as a buyer, said that the Bodega benefited from the same pandemic era boosted that provided so many other sneaker stores with a steady cash flow. But see, that's over with. Everybody back to work. You know, everybody, we ain't talking pandemic anymore. But I get that was during the time. Says, we were just hitting record years, he said. I mean, they were doing really big business. I think 2023 is definitely when I recognized that things were being a little weird because we were starting to do some major changes with the business, more on the back end. Everybody likes that back end word, pause, dog. It says, where did things go wrong? The growth didn't last. Adidas Yeezy sales cratered because that was pretty much Ye's doing, no disrespect. Nike cooled off, and Bodega ran into trouble with Bergen Logistics, the third-party partner it had hired to handle product warehousing and fulfillment. Says that the Bodega had done fulfillment in-house before, employing its own staff to process orders. It switched to the third-party provider when orders picked up in the early 2020s. Says when sales slowed down, then the arrangement with the logistics lost its purpose. He added that the company never totally solved Bodega's problems with the delays. Thinking back right now, he said, we did have a lot of delayed orders during those years where we were in-housed or our fulfillment. Then they switched to the third-party logistics. We still had issues. So they tried to get it sourced out where it could get caught up, but they were still having issues. Years back, a good chunk of the East Coast limited edition sneaker business ran through the New Jersey based Virgin Logistics. Bodega, Kith, Packer, Shoes, and sneakers and stuff all relied on the Virgin to get their orders out. So think about some of the stores I just named, right? Sneakers and stuff, remember they filed for bankruptcy, right? We've covered that one, right? Bodega, we've covered them having to close down and reopen. Now, Kith and Packer Shoes, I feel like if they have been affected by this, they haven't really let it be known publicly. So we don't know. But if I had to guess, if they're all using that same place for fulfillment, right, of their orders, you know, maybe something we may be speaking on in the future. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't want to wish no bad luck on anybody's company or anything like that. It says one sneaker retailer who used the Virgin Logistics for Familiar told Complex the company's warehouse in New Jersey could get backed up, and creating a domino effect that made it difficult for an individual accounts to get goods to online shoppers in a timely manner. And the retailer said if any payments were late, stores ran the risk of the logistics effectively holding the stock for hostage. So they like, hey, we ain't shipping nothing until we getting our bread, which, I mean, that makes sense. You know, that's just how it kind of works here in America, dog. If you were late by one day, the retailer said, they basically say to you, if you don't pay us, we're not shipping your orders. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. I mean, they want to get paid first. It says, Gordon told Complex that the Bodega was profitable for the first 17 years of its existence, but took on the debt and a few past years after it moved to outsource Familiar went haywire. We had a lot of problems with the Familiar in our Boston operation, Gordon said, and then with any outside company that got into the situation where our debt payments were crippling. For a while, Bodega shopped around the world for investors who could save the business. A few of those talks are still active. We've got a very close with a couple companies, but couldn't get across the finish line, Gordon said. A lot of the international companies were nervous about the political climate in the U.S., which, again, that brings in that word that we've been kind of like, I've been kind of stressing, tariffs. But think about this is where you see the New Balance and stuff like that. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to read through the rest of this article real quick, and then we're going to wrap things up here for the night. Talk a little bit of upcoming sneaker releases for sure. It says, with debts mounting, Gordon faced the possibility of shutting the business down altogether earlier this year. In his interview with Sneaker Freaker, the Bodega co-founder said he considered pulling the plug until a friend at Nike offered to help the Bodega navigate its way back to the normalcy. Bodega was spared, but the employees were not. In the same week that the stores closed, almost all of the Bodega staff was let go. Around 30 people lost their jobs when Gordon decided to cut down the staff down to the bare minimum at his scramble to keep Bodega alive. While Hugh could say that in writing on the wall, the end still felt abrupt. Says there were definitely things that could have been better, the former Bodega buyer said, but they had to make a tough decision and then had to do it just to keep the company alive. I completely understand it, and it definitely no hard feelings. It says there is some disconnect, there's some discontent among other former employees. One told Complex that they're still waiting out a payment from work they did done for the Bodega. Gordon said this week that everyone who was laid off has been paid in full. So he's paid those guys accordingly. According to Gordon. Says, what remains of the Bodega staff? Gordon didn't put a number of the amount of the employees left, but described it as a small core group that would nearly be scrapping orders right to ship. So they're still going to be trying to fulfill orders. So they're really working and grinding is what I'm getting from it. It's just a small LA staff, a bookkeeper, and me, Gordon said. So he basically down to the very minimum. You know, he don't got much staff. Natalia and Oliver Mock, Bodega's other co-founders, are no longer involved in the day-to-day business but remain part owners, according to Gordon. It won't be as easy to get back to easy road back to Bodega. There's a tariff war threatening the economy of the globe. I told you. How did I know we were going to get to the point where I had to bring up tariffs? But he says there's the economics of global footwear trade. Industry leader Nike is struggling and other sneaker boutiques are fighting to stay open. Although it's no longer with the company, he is hoped that Gordon can orchestrate a turnaround. Gordon's focus is now reviewing the LA online stores or reviving the LA online stores. Reopening Boston's would require outside investment. Gordon knows that he can't bring the Bodega back to life quickly, but believes he can do it. We are going to try to make things right, Bodega's co-founder said, with our customers, with our vendors, and the legacy that has been tarnished. So he said he's going to try to make things right, man. Hopefully, we'll see, but he's got one back open. So let's talk upcoming sneaker releases here for the last 5 minutes. I've been on the joint for an hour. We're going to wrap things up here for the night. I did see this right here. Where we at real quick. I saw that Travis has been seen wearing a new, kind of seems like Jordan, Air Jordan 1 collab low. And I look like this may be just another form of a fragment too. But if you look on the inside of that joint, the Nike check is clearly not the same color as the one on the outside. So it could be obviously like a friends and family fragment too, man. Who knows? And I don't know if that's what they're officially called, but that's look like what he's wearing. Ironically, the guy sitting next to him is rocking some Pandas, right? Okay, just find that kind of interesting. Couldn't help but not notice that. So we got those probably going to be coming down the pipeline here sometime this year or anticipated, right? Okay. And then I believe there's a Jordan 1 Rookie of the Year that's coming next week. So we'll see how that goes for sure. Me personally, I like these. I don't hate them, but I still prefer the highs. But I'll definitely do a video on that one, a drip or skip. But other than that, man, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here for the night. Let me put myself back on the main screen. I think we also have the those Air Max 95 Neons are supposed to be coming this month too, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then I'm still waiting on my Action Bronson New Balance joints. They're supposed to be coming in. So I'll have a unboxing and review for you guys here, hopefully sometime next week. And let's see, Devon says, supposedly some Travis shoes are going to drop during Coachella. We shall see. Rivero Fam says, been missing out on some fire releases. Home ownership is a BI, you know what. But it's going to pay off in the long run, homie. It's going to pay off. Because the thing is, one thing about sneakers, dog, what I've learned, they will eventually, not all, but a lot of them do get remade over. You know what I'm saying? We've been getting a lot of re-releases of some stuff we've already had before. So other than that, I'll say I just want those Air Max 95 Neons. I know they got another model I seen floating around too that people are talking about. But other than that, nothing else really for me. You know what I mean? That I'm really looking for. Maybe those, I think those are anticipated too at some point. Those Air Jordan 4 white cements, maybe. Well, it ain't a maybe. I definitely would like those for sure. So just some food for thought. But other than that, man, let's see where we at. Devon said some Air Max 95 SBs. Interesting. So they're trying to take that whole little SB and crossover thing. Me personally, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. But I know that the difference, all it means is it's supposed to be better material for, I guess, like actual like skating. You know what I mean? So I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but it's very interesting still, though. You know what I'm saying? But I've been on the joint for an hour and 5 minutes, man. Let's wrap things up here for the night, and we'll be back live again on Monday with another with another Music Monday, actually, I should say. Devon says SBs do need to try different Jordan numbers. This is true. The Fords is cool, but I would like to see them do enough. I don't know what other Jordan they could really do, though. The Ford was kind of like a gimme. I don't know other shoe that would probably be a good like shoe that they can make it like skatable. I guess maybe just go ahead and thug it out. It's pretty easy. Do a Jordan 1 SB, Jordan 1 low SB or something, you know what I mean? That would probably be a good one to do. And I think they've done something like that with like an Eric Carson or something like that, but I think it's like very limited or just exclusively to Eric Carson, the skateboarder. But yeah, man, I'm wrapping things up for the night. Appreciate everybody for coming through and showing love. Y'all smash that like button, sub up to the channel if you're new and if you haven't done so already. Of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and what I normally do is make content about sneakers. Occasional trial hauls. Y'all know we got Music Monday, which I'll be back live again on Monday. Until then, man, definitely sign up for that sold out Discord. Link is pinned at the top of the chat, and it's free where we continue the sneaker talk. And yeah, man, I'll be back live again on Monday, and I am officially out this thing, man. Peace.
December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while.